right, welcome back. We are here for Hearts of Camelot, Once and Forever, episode 2, because we sort of blended session 0 and episode 1 like last time. So we're going to go ahead and do that. If, as usual, like we're going to go ahead and have the players try and describe what they remember from last time they were here, and then to blend us into uh, this episode, and I will try to fill in the blanks as best as I can. So, whomever would like to start.
I remember, I know this is going to be out of order, but I remember one of the scenes of us recovering at an inn. I don't know, remember the name of it, was it Sarah? And we had drink and food. Uh, and this was shortly before we set about to get preparations for our quest. Previously, there was a market scene with the source or Rod's character and my character showing up. And then there was a scene with Granit. What was Granit doing? Do you remember, Rod or Chris?
You were with a group of people. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Was I? Well, I remember simply rocking up to the tavern scene in a polar bear skin cloak because I had been recently teleported to the far north.
Were you doing information gathering after that with
Yes,
somebody?
after that,
Okay,
I
that's
was
what I
like
think it
listening
was.
for tavern tales of a Golden
Yeah,
Heart.
yeah. No. And we had gotten our horses and our travel stuff, and there was a storm brewing, a winter storm, and we were headed off to possibly a risky situation.
Yes.
On the assumption from my character that if he completes this quest, he will actually be an official knight. I think we got a lore roll by Sir Elio on where to possibly go to find creatures like this.
And we just need the antlers, right? Not the
No,
creature entire.
we need the whole creature brought back alive.
Okay.
Yeah. What else are we missing, Mads?
I think that you guys have covered it all.
Okay.
Granite got a slight sketchy description, whether or not he believed it. I mean, like, supposedly the Golden Heart is, like, golden, with magical golden hooves and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Mr. Sarah wished you all well. Safe journey. And you were heading off as the snow was falling and increasing in speed and volume, because you did not want to wait, since you only had a week to try and find the heart, capture it, and then bring it back for some ritual ceremony. And I will remind you that this was done in good faith, that you accepted this quest to gain favor and your knighthood on successful completion of this. But Sir Elio, I do believe that upon hearing that the Minister Vortimir was the one who issued the quest, I think you're a little bit suspicious of the Minister's motives for doing so. So, I think that was pretty much all I need to mention. You all are serving, I guess, a princess and a prince, a brother, sister, who are currently holding the seats of power for your kingdom. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. But anyway, so you have set off for this. Um, you are, as far as you guys know, you are prepared for traveling and going by Sir Elio's tracking skills, and also to see about finding this Golden Heart in time to do this quest. So let's see. You are riding out. Who is first? I mean, I imagine that the way is a bit treacherous as the snow is picking up and you feel the flakes of snow even coming in through your hood, perhaps blowing through your cloaks, and then also your extremities are starting to feel the pinch of the cold and the wind. Who is in front? Who
I'm
follows?
fine.
And who's
Well,
last?
if Ydelles the giant is in front, that could block the wind for the rest of us.
Here's my rationale. If we're doing if what the audience sees is like a tracking, like we're still trying to figure out. Once we get on the trail, I think
Mm-hmm.
Adele will like be very vigorous in terms of being in front.
Okay.
Like his excitement will be there. We'll see him going through and his cloak billowing and protecting you and Sir Granit from the harshness of the winter weather. But if we're not quite on track, I think we might see Sir Ilya kind of like looking for more information or whatnot.
Right. Well, again, the snow is piling up. I mean, like, you see the modest trail going out of town,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But again, like the snow is piling up around you and below you. So, I mean, do you imagine, Sir Elio, that you have started to do the tracking, or are you trying to just wait until you're deep enough in the forest that maybe the canopy can protect the tracks and trails of what you seek?
Um, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely searching as best as I can. Yeah, I mean, I imagine, I think I'll be finding like, regular deer tracks, but I think this is a beast of much greater size than your average stag. Um,
Is there like a helping move I can do with Sir Ilya?
Hmm. Let's see.
Plus courteous, it
Help.
looks like.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you sister interfere. Yep.
Yeah.
Roll
So
courteous.
I think I'm definitely helping if it's like moving branches or like keeping him safe from the elements while he's looking at something. I could see that happening. What do
Okay.
you think?
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. So plus courteous, which I have a 1, so I'm gonna roll 2d6 plus 1. Let's see what we get. So I got a 7 with
Okay.
my helping move.
Okay. All right. So let's see. 7 mixed outcome. So you will help, but you will receive misfortune. All right. So 7 misfortune helping Elio. Okay, I'm gonna make a notation for that, and then I'm gonna see what Elio gets on his roll.
Yeah,
So
which role should I
you want to do essentially gain insight, or you can see. I'm gonna say that, since the snow's not like not too bad just yet, I think you're seeing like maybe the shadow of small woodland animals that are about. Maybe you see regular deer in the distance, or kind of like among the trees. If you weren't looking, like you wouldn't even know that they're there. But since you are looking, you can tell the difference between the shadowy branches and say like a regular deer's
Oh,
antlers.
you have like the language with animals.
I
You
do,
could talk
yeah.
to the local birds or whatever and say, "Have you seen?"
Yes, I think
Yeah.
that's pretty much what I was also thinking.
So you would basically do your move. You would roll 2d6 for wise. Let's see,
Yep.
hold on.
And I
What's
get a
your
plus
wise?
one. Oh, it's 0.
Okay, so
But
then you want a +1 for the move, and then a +1 from Ydelle helping you.
awesome.
Okay,
All right. Let's see.
2d6 plus 2.
It's 7. So that definitely helped.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Okay, interesting. Two misfortunes. Okay, in asking.
Yetis really do exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least according to the birds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
Of course,
think.
they might just be talking about me.
Or a badger.
Oh, yeah. So, I'm thinking that, you see kind of like burrowing underneath and such. Like maybe you see some animals that are starting to take shelter from the storm, Elio, and you understand their speech and can also talk with them. I think like from among the ones that you find, whether it be like the lone crow, like trying to catch some mm, grubs or whatever, or even like some rabbits that may be like, taking shelter or what have you. I think between all of them, they kind of point you in the general direction. Yes, they have seen the Golden Heart. They know it is near, but it is moving quite quickly away from here as it will also try to hide itself and take shelter for the storm. So, um, you know that it is further away than expected. Um, so that is part of the misfortune. It's further away, and therefore the tracks are going to be disappearing quite soon. Um, and then your misfortune. So you're trying to help Edel, like maybe you're helping clear the brush from the trail. Like maybe you're actually like using some of the brush to help um, kind of keep some of the snow off of the road for now, as best as you can. But
I
go
oh,
ahead.
okay, go ahead because I have an idea to make it a little bit more heightened in danger too.
Okay, go ahead.
So maybe, and I don't know if we don't see this, but the audience does,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe uncover or cover up accidentally some wolf tracks or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's so. I mean, like in your haste and excitement to give Elio a hand, I
Yeah.
think yes, there are quite prominent tracks of predators that are
Hmm.
around for sure. And I think also too, Elio, your animal friends are a little bit intimidated. So when Edel, in his enthusiasm, is brushing brushing things away or dumping brush like away from them, maybe like they scatter before they can like maybe give you even further information. Okay, all right, but you're on the right track for sure.
Can we ride our horses to give us a little more speed, or is it the weather too bad? Or do we have horses? I
You do
assume
have
we have
horses.
horses. Yeah, okay.
Yes, you do have horses. For sure. And yeah, I mean, like you can ride them. I don't know if you want to ride like quite quickly, um, but I mean,
Right.
yeah, I mean, if you think that you have figured out a way to track this Golden Heart further along, then yes, I will say that you can definitely go faster and ride your horses out for sure.
Edel is definitely like, if there's any like hint, like we go this way, I think Ydelles is just like, yeah, let's do it. We haven't heard from Sir Granit yet. Is Sir Granit involved in this, or is he just kind of like
Happy to be here.
busy?
Rocks are no rocks. Not exactly his area of expertise.
Well, aren't we in the like hill area, or going to be?
I'm sure there will be rocks. At the moment I'm fine.
Okay, this is the like generic UK. There have to be rocks.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're picking your way through a
Well, we've got wolves, so clearly something's up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they can totally leap like 20 feet in the air. It's gonna be
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be great for sure. Absolutely.
All right, yeah. So it was like, all right, let's go.
Okay. So I'm gonna say that yes, you pick up the pace, and then you're making your way through these, like kind of plains, what would be tall grasses in the spring season, but like right now they're barren. And so you're making your way down this road that turns into bare track and then turns into kind of like you have to pick through it a little bit more carefully, otherwise you're gonna hobble the horses. Um, but I think we as the audience will see shadows following you or going alongside, like in some of these rolling bits that maybe there's like the boulders or the some of the brush, that's kind of covering up the sides of the trail. Maybe beyond that we see like shadowy shapes following you. We're keeping up with you all, actually. Okay. And so I think it gets to a point during the night, because it is nighttime, that you're also trying to do this. But there is a full moon. And for some reason, even through this storm that has kind of approached and, blown snow in your faces and cut through your cloaks, I think somehow there's still like some light to go by. Maybe it's bouncing off of the snow that is laying peacefully on the track right now. But yeah, I think you've gone as far as you can possibly go as the snow covers the tracks, and then you find yourself in not a clearing, but maybe the snow has stopped and you see the forest a little bit beyond you. A few more minutes maybe, or do you want to try and camp, at least for now, until daylight, where it's easier to see?
I think Nell would say, let's get some like shelter. So if it looks like the shelter over there would be better to protect ourselves, that would be his inclination.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say like there's kind of like overhangs perhaps of rock and brush.
Woohoo!
We do like
My
rock.
thing, my favorite thing.
Yeah, yeah. Like maybe
Oh.
there's like an overhead shelf of like of a of a barren cliff and such that may be around here before you get to the forest proper. And so yeah, you can take a little bit of shelter underneath this, just to be able to have like some place to just in case like the snows happen again or something, then at least you're covered. Um, do you set up camp here? Do you set up a watch?
Yes.
And yes.
I think if there's any indication of the worst of the storm, that's when would be honored to be the watch for that. Sir Elio has definitely been working pretty hard, tracking, and is Sir Elio or Sir Granit, are they from like less wintry climates? Or are they
I
from
think we're
this
all from
New
England or
right, but
the
you
UK.
okay. Yeah. So like if anyone like needs the rest, like Ydelles even going to do double shift if necessary.
I'm happy to help keep watch.
Of course. It's only fair.
So let's see. I'm going to try to remember if there was like a kind of like a chance roll or something like that for this.
Or like, yeah, like a fortune roll or something.
Mm-hmm.
Random
Exactly.
monster table, I think they're called.
Or random fall asleep table.
Yeah, random like, oh shit, like what did you just do table. Oh, and then just remember, because I don't know whether I pointed it out, but on the rolls section, if you look under the rules, it says there's two situations where the roll result determines your success or failure, regardless of whatever scores, modifiers, or anything might affect it. So if you have snake eyes, if you have 2 1s, you're automatically botched and it's considered a failure, always. If you show 2 6s, that's a critical success. So that's, you're golden. You don't have to worry about any other complications or misfortunes or anything like that. Just wanted to point that out just in case I didn't last time. Okay. Okay. I don't see one at the moment, but I will say that
I think we should just make up one, right?
could.
I
Totally
think,
Oh
could.
no.
like, if this is a night story, there's almost always gonna be some sort of travel thing that happens.
Yeah, for sure. Um, Oh, and just remember that you would mark 1 XP every time you fail a roll. So, you fail forward. Yay.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
just want to make sure that you knew that that was in this game.
Unlike the between,
Unlike the
Unlike
between.
unlike every like I feel like PBTA has really moved away from that
Really?
which is
recently.
weird.
Well,
I like it, but I understand the arguments against it.
right. But in this case, like David R has kept it in, so just so you know, it's like you mark 1
Woohoo.
XP every time you flub a roll. Take misfortune, but yay, you learned. Hopefully. Um
Well, if we're really leaning into the Green Knight, then it just gets trippy all the way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Just tell me first, like, who's taking first watch, second watch, and third.
I'll take second watch.
Okay,
I'll take first.
okay, and then Elio will go last. Okay, so on each of the watches, I'm gonna have you guys do a fortune roll. Like, I know it's not necessarily in here, but I mean, we're just
Mhm.
gonna play with it anyway because it's fun.
Mhm.
And then let's do it against your. Let's see, was, but if you're going to do, I'm even going to say,
I mean, if it's a stay awake roll, why not vigor?
not where?
Well,
Vigor.
Oh, yeah.
if you're,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
That
Against
it
makes sense.
just,
vigorous.
yeah, it just depends what it is.
Yeah. So, let's go ahead and use vigor because, you're, don't have to think, you just have to be aware. So, yeah. So, Ydelle, you're going first. So,
All right.
2d6
Come on, Snake
plus
Eyes.
vigorous.
Come on. I've got, I got an 8 with my +2.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
What is my mixed success?
All right. You're watching and you're watching. I think for all your energy and your vigor, you are seeing a vision. I mean, you are seeing somehow. Are you standing or are you sitting?
I'm probably sitting on either a log or, yeah, we'll say like a fallen log, and with my back towards my companions, so I'm
Okay.
kind of hopefully have a fairly good view of what's around me.
Okay. I think in the distance, I think you are seeing what looks like a shining star. and it kind of like does that whole like kind of expanding, contracting kind of thing, like where it
Mhm.
like looks like it's winking at you a little bit, and then you realize it's like it's getting bigger and bigger as it gets closer, and you realize that you're starting to see a vision of a woman that is lit up in starlight, and you realize that it is your somehow a manifestation of your spirit, of the spirit within the meteor. How do you address your lady?
So I think he gets up, like he probably goes into like his training of being at court.
Hmm.
So he goes into like night mode, stands up, does the courteous thing, puts his sword away, right? Um, no longer pays attention to threats, just focused on her, and does the bow and everything, and welcomes her into the safe area, with his back now turned to the outside weather, as if he was inviting a guest into his home.
Where do you have do you have her sit? Do you have her
I think what he actually does is I think he takes his saddlebag and he dusts it off and puts it in an area that might be near, like, I don't think we have a fire going. Do we have a fire going, guys?
Probably not.
Okay.
Well, I
Um,
mean, we don't have to worry about detection really.
right. So it probably puts it like near one of the sheltering walls,
Mhm.
as like away from the wind, and offers it to her, and probably would even offer some of his rations or water if she was interested, but would
what
make sure she was comfortable if she sat down.
what does she look like?
I think it's probably a little bit of a shifting image if we were watching this. So I see like part of it is probably like this humanoid star form probably takes on like if I was directing this film, like we would get glimpses, but we would never get one solid like that is this actress.
Mhm.
So like we the audience don't even have a clear picture of her, but there's these sort of like shots like of her hair or of her hand or something like that, so we get a sense roughly of the kind of idealized woman that he's looking for. And she probably is taller or larger than the average human woman because he's in his own space here.
Mhm. Yeah. I think that is so. Um and she greets you. Oh, Ydelles. Do you realize what your quest entails?
It is a challenge to me as a knight to test my courage.
Your courage will be tested for certain, but also your resolve. How well will you serve, even in the face of possible betrayal?
I think he seems uncertain how to address that betrayal part. What do you mean, betrayal?
There is one or more that do not have your best interests at heart, as good as that heart may be.
Do you have names for these individuals?
You are all human. I do not know names. I just know what I sense from within the meteor.
What is it like there?
It is cold. It is warm. It is seeing vastness and space, and yet it is the most grounded thing one can do. And she says this as she's touching the ground at your feet and also kind of running her hand, as diaphanous as it is, along the rock that she sits against.
Are there others with you?
There have not been others with me since the beginning of your time. I am alone, but not, strangely, with you. You are far from me, but yet you are always present. I am here to see you at your most open, and I just wanted to tell you what I sensed before you go further.
How may I repay this kindness?
Return to me with your heart intact. Be the stoic. Be the tender, but always be yourself. And as she says yourself, you see the starshine kind of swirl and then disappear in motes into the atmosphere, into the sky.
I think Ydelles unconsciously says a prayer from his childhood in thanks.
I think there's kind of like there's a cloud that goes over the moon or whatever little light there is around here, and maybe you hear what sounds a little bit like thunder, but it's not thunder. You're not sure what it is. And your shift is essentially over, and the audience will see from behind you as you're kind of contemplating the sky, some of those shadowy shapes looking like they are coming near or kind of circling, but very slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You don't see them, though.
Right. So Ydelles will kind of shake himself out of the moment and then go to the next shift person to let them know it's their time.
Yep. Sir Granit, go ahead and make me this fortune roll. 2d6 plus vigor.
Waiting for the dice roller to reload.
Sure.
10 plus 1, 11.
Nice. Okay. Is there anything in particular you'd like to do as you're taking your watch amongst these these rocks, contemplating the relatively clear sky. I mean, the cloud did pass over the moon, but it's kind of moving along, and you didn't hear the thunder that Ydelles heard.
I think I'm going to practice my Sylvan. I think I'm going to try and converse with the air.
Is that your element?
No, in fact, it is the opposite.
Ah.
But it surprises and delights me.
Hmm.
I am, of course, Granit, in that I am the rocks guy. I was born speaking the tongue of gnomes, but there are scant few gnomes, mostly in sand, that know how to speak of the wind.
Okay. For funsies, especially since you rolled so well. You tell me, what do you hear, or do you manage to talk to the air sylphs?
I think I try and they start laughing at me. And then I can catch up like bits of their conversation, and that will tell me hopefully something, perhaps about thunder.
Hmm. Okay. In this case, would you like to make an insight roll?
Sure.
All right, so that is plus wise.
That's a 6. Plus 1, 7. I forgot. I forgot. I had 1 wisdom.
Okay. All right, so gain insight with misfortune. What do you want to know? And then I'll give you your misfortune.
I want to know if it will keep snowing.
Hmm. Do you see the air sylphs or do you just hear them?
I just hear them.
Okay. Well, you hear them giggling a lot because that's what they do. And I think a human wants to know about snow. Cold snow. Touching his face. Getting in his clothes.
Uh,
I guess it will. Do you see the gathering of our brethren up in the sky, human?
yes. He does not know the word for no.
Well, when you see the brethren gathering, then you know it's going to snow. Snow, 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 snow. And then, like, it basically, you know that there's more than there's at least 3 of them around you, but there's probably more. Some of them are just giggling at you,
Why do
and
you
then
have so many words for snow?
the white, the winter storm, blowsy flakes, snot up our noses. So many words. Snow, snow, snow. But did you hear the rumble? The rumble of the storm. There's something angry. There's something angry coming. It might be snow. It might be no. Who knows? Did you want to know anything else, human?
Is the snow yours? Do you steal it from the nymphs? Or the yeah, wait. I forget which ones the water ones are. We'll say nymphs.
No. They steal it from us when it falls. But no, doesn't belong to them. Doesn't belong to us. It just happens when we all get together. It's cold.
Hmm. What would you like as an offering?
Hmm. And you hear all of them go, hmm, as they're contemplating your person and trying to see what they want. Ah. I think a few of them will blow in your face just to kind of see your reaction. And then you feel like this kind of wave of wind blowing across that, the cloak of yours, the furry cloak of yours. You probably need this to stay warm. Hmm.
Yes.
What do you have to offer us, son of Earth?
Hmm. Got I've got a sachet of cloves. They smell nice.
How many? How many? How many?
4.
Crush 3, so we may smell and bring it into the air and take it as ours.
But of course, fair sister, he says, reaching into his sack, which contains far more than 4 cloves, and doing just that.
You see the cloves kind of like do this weird dance in the air, like as if they're being picked up and then swirled around. And then it's almost like seeing the scents become like not solid, but I mean like you can see visible
Like
gas.
watching smoke rise, but it's the
Yeah,
wrong color.
exactly. And then it just kind of like it's like spirals into the air and then dissipates as the cloves like also swirl into the air, but then get carried away. It's like thank you, and then they will. Some of them will get really cheeky, literally, and then pinch your cheeks, um,
Um,
and then maybe we'll talk again, human, and then you feel and hear that they are gone.
right, that should be about time to wake up the next guy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Sir Elio, fortune roll, please. 2d6 plus vigor.
10.
Okay. What in particular do you want to do during watch?
I guess just think about the Golden Heart and what what we can do to bring it back. What might serve as the lure, what might, you know, certainly Sir Elio doesn't want to harm it,
Hmm.
if that's even possible, and certainly doesn't want us to get harmed either. Um, so I guess I'll just like start, I'll just work on what we're gonna do when we actually find it.
Okay.
I've been thinking about that.
Did you want to do a plain gain insight where you just rely on your memory, observation, education to understand a person, place, or thing or situation? Or did you want to go further and see about um, finding some natural animals to ask while you're on watch, of course?
Yeah, I think I would ask man. It's just help because they would know better than I
Okay.
or any book would.
All right. So basically, for this, for gain insight, then you'd get the +1 from your move, and then if you have any points in wise, then you get that modifier as well.
So I rolled a 3.
Wait. Oh, okay. I mean, it's a failure anyway, but just curious. It's like, did you roll snake eyes down?
Yes, I did. I did roll snake
Oh
eyes.
boy. Okay. Well, you did want to see snake eyes, didn't you?
Right.
Um,
Forgot about that.
oh boy. Okay. So, major misfortune. I think as you're doing your rounds for watch and you're trying to search for animal friends or birds to be able to question, I think you found a little bit more than you bargained for, because those shadowy shapes that have been following your group or like keeping up with your group, they make themselves known
Mm.
in a way that um, you hear it as a throaty, growly chuckle at first. And it's several of them. It is out of the darkness from behind the rocks. I think you see wolves, and they're a bit bigger than what you're used to seeing.
Yeah, I do have I roll around with sword drawn. I will yell at arms so that the others wake up. Um,
Okay.
and I will warn the wolves. Come no closer unless you feel the edge of a sword.
I think the alpha of the pack is a little bit taken aback by that, but then he gets his back up. Like, he's a little bit bigger than all of them, and will growl, laugh as he hears you and says, "The human understands us. Get him." And yeah, so I'm just going to I'm not going to make you roll for like whether you actually get up in time or not. I think everybody's got like some nightly slash battle ready senses. And yeah, I mean, so for action, it's basically where everyone acts as once, but the action scenes are divided into action rounds. So throughout a round, your players can act and make moves freely, with the limitation that each player can only roll dice once per round. If you redo a dice roll, such as when you fulfill destiny, it does not count against this limit. Okay. Um, So at the beginning of the first round, one player can volunteer to act first. Obviously, that would be you anyway, Sir Elio. So, like, let's just say that this action round, it's like you are the only one that can act because the other two need to get up, to wake up and get up. Okay, and then the next action round, then both like everybody can be in the fray. So for this one, you can battle. Let me see. Battle NPC. Alright, so that's battling an NPC. It seems to me like this is more of like an NPC type of thing, or a fellow hero. So I'm gonna say you're gonna act heroically in this case.
Okay.
Or you can do defend from harm or apply force. So, three choices. Tell me what you're doing.
Uh, how many are there?
You can apply force when you use raw physical might to deal with a problem object or creature. You're rolling against vigorous. Defending from harm also rolls against vigorous because you're defending something, someone, or yourself from physical danger. And then act heroically is just the catch-all. You would roll virtue in that case.
Oh, and how many wolves are there?
There's 3 that you can see at the moment. The alpha and I guess their lieutenants. There might be
So,
more.
right, I think I will go pure defensive until my comrades come. So I'll do the defend from harm.
Okay. All right. So 2d6 plus your vigorous.
And a 4.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. The dice are not
Okay.
with me.
All right. So I'm gonna say that if you want to apply fulfill destiny to, I think you can upgrade that. So this way you don't. I mean, you will still have a misfortune, but it won't be so bad. Or you can take XP for that. Remember to take XP for the 3 you just did too. So again, you can either let it ride on a miss and like have like full ass misfortune, or you can not take XP because you're gonna mark fulfill destiny.
Oh, I'll take the misfortune.
Okay,
Yeah,
so look at you
the
racking
full
up the XP. Oh my god, on the 4. Oh boy. Okay. You are harmed. And so you can choose one of your virtues and mark it. So I'm going to say that the wolves beset upon you because they, again, they're with numbers right now. So I'm going to say that you check off, like they take a bite or two out of you, like as you're trying to like keep them away and such. Maybe one of them has worried your shoulder, and so therefore you're now weakened. Yeah. Okay. And at this point, yeah, I mean, the other two, I mean, like, you two are up now, so I think you see this, in whatever state that you're in, that Elio has been knocked down, and he is being set upon by these 3 wolves at the very least, and like maybe 2 of them are kind of pinning him down, and then the other one has just a bigger one has bit through his shoulder.
So, is defend only useful if someone's going to be attacked, or is it useful if someone is under this situation?
I'm whatever you think the action really determines, because
Okay.
since you're rolling on vigorous with either way,
Mm-hmm.
I will say that um
I think Ydelles his primary thing would be to get the threat away from Sir Elio.
right, exactly. So I mean, like, for instance, you for defend from harm, that gives a little bit more. So on a success, the harm is prevented, and then you receive +1 forward towards that next roll. Okay, so that's where it aids.
Okay. So I have a let me make sure I understand this. So I have a vigor of 2,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have the move of Son of the Fair Giantess,
Okay.
which gives me a +2 vigorous roll to apply force or defend from harm. Does that stack?
Oh yeah,
So I
totally
have a
stacks.
+4 in my roll.
Yep.
All right, we'll see if I roll my first snake eyes
Oh
tonight.
God, no.
Rod, did you see my post in the chat?
Oh,
Oh
no, what did
jeez.
it?
Okay, I got a 10.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, nice. Okay. And you roll defend
Defend.
against harm. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So go ahead.
it's gonna be forcefully, but the primary is to
Oh.
protect Sir Ilio.
Oh, yo, no, absolutely. Tell me
Yeah.
what this looks like if you defend
Oh
defend
yeah.
him from harm. Yeah.
I think what we see is he doesn't even. I think he just wakes up and rushes out there. So I don't think he even gets his large sword out of the scabbard.
Hmm.
He just whacks it away like a baseball bat, just like whack, 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 like he's swatting small animals off of his friend.
Okay.
And then his next intent would be to put Sir Ilio over his shoulder, like fireman carry,
Uh-huh.
and get back towards the cave.
Sure. Okay. Let's say that's what you do, and then like on the next round, then you would apply +1 plus
Sure.
whatever else you're using for
Okay.
sure. Okay. Granite, what are you doing?
I'm being a big dumb idiot and trying to get as many. I think my end game here is to grab the wolves and throw them into the overhang.
Oh. Okay.
Just send them through the wall to somewhere.
Ooh. Okay. Um. Now this is. Let's see. Okay. So like just for saying, your move is like you can move through this element. If you're going to use your epic move, sorcery, let's see. To use your sorcery, first describe the intended effect of your spell, which you did. Then choose a spell requirement from this list. Okay?
Mhm. Okay.
By default, though, just remember, by default, the spell effects are limited to a single target, targets you currently perceive, targets no heavier than 1 ton, and durations of no longer than a minute, and areas of effect no larger than 1 yard. If you want to make this more powerful and go beyond these rules, you need to
Set up a spell component, right? Like there's a
right
second
like
list
well
here.
for each limitation you ignore, choose an additional spell requirement. So already you pick a spell requirement from this list. So if you're going to do all 3 targets, as you know, as Ydelles has knocked them away, but you're going to take on all 3 of them, then you have to add 2 more limitations to cover the extra targets for a total of
Okay.
3 limitations.
Okay. I know I only need it to because I'm targeting both of the loose wolves, right? Because there are 3 wolves here.
3 wolves, yes.
It will require assistance from the gnomes, and um, hmm. I think I'm going to make it require knowledge I don't yet have because I don't want to just I want to send these wolves somewhere that won't like kill them, you know?
Yeah. And then what was the third thing you were going to use?
Oh, it has to be 3? Why?
Because already when you do a spell, you have to choose a spell requirement from the list. So that's 1. And then because of the 2 more targets, like I needed 2 more requirements. So that brings it to 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I'll just target two of them.
Okay.
Because
All
one
right.
of them is currently being like it is biting into the neck of one of my compatriots, right?
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, like, basically at this point, I think that Ydelles has knocked them away and has dragged Elio, or fireman carried Elio out of the fray. So he's out of harm's way right now. However,
You know what?
yeah.
I'll make it. It may be harmful to the caster because I think my current plan is to just like bull rush the wolves and physically pick them up.
Okay. So, uh, are you doing it to the all three wolves then? Is that what I'm given to
Yes,
understand? Okay.
I think that's what I'm doing.
All right. So now we need to fulfill. I mean, I know this is like complicated, but it is an epic move.
Yeah,
So basically, we need to fulfill the requirements first. So harmful to the caster, you need to mark a virtue.
cool.
Probably do vigor if you have.
Probably bigger. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
probably weakened.
Yeah. So it requires knowledge you don't yet have. You need to gain insight. So you need to roll insight.
All right, let me do
So
that.
2d6 plus whatever your wise is.
That is 8 + 1 for a 9.
Okay. I'll give you a misfortune. I'll mark that as a misfortune. Give me a second. And then you need to, let's see, you were going to use, uh, require assistance from the gnomes. So, obtain goods or practice trade. Let me see.
Prevail, I think, is the.
Oh, person. Sorry. Obtain service or prevail upon. Let's see.
Yeah, I think it will prevail upon,
Okay.
which is plus courtesy.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Let's roll.
Okay.
That's a 7.
Okay. So, gnomes, 7, and gain insight, a 9. Okay. And you're trying to pick them up with your rocks, or like, you're gonna have like
Not just
granite
my
strike?
body. This
Okay.
doesn't look like I'm casting a spell.
Okay.
What it looks like from the outside is I start shouting a bunch of nonsense and then like bear hug as many wolves as I can hold and dive into a sheer rock face.
Oh my God. Oh boy. Okay. So, gain insight. Yeah, the knowledge that you have to be able to do this, and I'm assuming the gnomes are the ones that are helping you bear hug them and then bring them into the rocks. Is that what I'm given to understand? Like their function?
I mean, I was thinking the gnomes took effect. Like there, I don't know how to enter stone without like randomly teleporting somewhere. So I'm sort
Ah,
of asking the gnomes to put me here and the wolves somewhere where they won't die.
oh, okay. Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Do you think gnomes are mischievous?
Certainly less than fairies, than sylphs. I think they're a
More,
straightforward folk, but I think they're sort of like very exact and materialistic.
okay.
Like I'm sure they'll ask for an offering that's, the exact weight of each wolf.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna say that's gonna be like, something that's gonna mark you a bit. They're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
ask for somebody's gonna say something about like pound for pound. So
Yeah.
call that as your complication. We'll figure out what that means in a minute. But then your gain insight for being able to do this. You said your friend, I can't remember his name, I'm so sorry. Um,
Walrus.
Horace. Yeah, I think Horace is kind of like, chattering in your ear. I think it's like, are you sure you want to do this? I mean, there's probably easier ways of doing this. I mean, you don't have to be cavorting around like your big hulking friend over there. I mean, you don't have to do this.
I am already in the full charge. I don't know
Yeah,
what you
yeah, yeah,
want
yeah,
from
yeah.
me.
Right, right, right. I mean, like you're already in full charge, and like
Yeah,
Horace is chattering in your ear.
I'm committed.
You're committed. So, well, I can see you're not to be stopped, but I just want to let you know that this is you're not going to be able to use your powers again until tomorrow night. Just say it. And that's your complication.
Cool.
Yep. And about the pound for pound, we'll figure that
We'll
out as we
figure
go
that out.
along. Oh my god. So now that you've fulfilled all the requirements, go ahead and roll destiny to cast.
Oh God. Oh fuck. Oh
I know
no.
you still have to you still have to still do this. This is
You're
great.
telling me this is 4 dice rolls for me to do a stupid football move?
You're making it complicated, so yes. Sorry. Um,
I asked for this.
you did. You really did. Oh wait, so hold on a second. Let's look at your destiny for half a bell. Okay, so fulfill destiny. At any time you can mark a box to do this thing. Hold on. I just want to make sure that we don't have to mark it first. Fulfill
Use
destiny.
me.
Give me a second. Ah, here we go. Okay, you have not marked any destiny yet. So what this
Nope.
means is when you roll with destiny, you are rolling with any unmarked boxes. So you are essentially marking with a +5 to do your spell.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh ho.
That's so many.
Yes.
All
Please
right,
tell
so
me it
that is
helps.
that is a 9 plus 5.
Yes, 14. So 14 is sorcery. Yay me. So go ahead and describe what happens here as Ydelles has carried Elio away, and then you charge into action.
All right, I know exactly how this happens too.
Go ahead.
So I try to set myself up so that their attention, the wolves' attention is on me, but I don't give them enough time to circle. And then I just charge forward, arms outstretched, picking them up as I go. And as I make contact with the wall, they are all absorbed into it. And I just sort of crash as though it is actually stone.
I think at that point Horace is in your ear. It's like, I told you it was going to be a pain. Well,
That's what the helmet's for.
ugh. Get yourself sorted out, son, and then we'll talk tomorrow. And then he'll like you feel his presence leave you, and yeah, the wolves are gone. Maybe you hear an unfamiliar voice, like kind of chattering at your
New
feet.
gnome in charge of my helmet.
Yeah, just kind of like saying it's like you owe us pound for pound on those wolves.
And you'll have it.
We'll come back later for it, all right?
And I swear no magic till it's paid.
You won't be able to, son. And then he kind of like you feel a tapping on your hands, and it's like your hands like have this desiccated look, as if you've kind of burned yourself out a little bit. It'll be
Every
fine. When you're able to use magic again, it'll fall off. You're all fine. It's all good.
every time.
See you tomorrow.
It's like your magic, your hands and your magic have had like the equivalent of like the club put on them. You can't drive yourself anymore.
Pretty much.
Yeah, no swords, no sorcery.
So
All right.
Adele would like I think like he's like getting the sword out with Sir Elio, and then this bull rush from Sir Granit happens, and he smashes in the wall. And what does it look like? Do you just kind of like, are you actually talking aloud, and we only hear you
Yes, I
talking?
am. I am shouting in Gnomish. So you would recognize that I am saying
Right,
words, but they
right.
wouldn't. It would probably sound like rocks fall. And then if you're not looking, you just sort of you hear me make contact with all three of the wolves, and then a resounding clang as my helmet makes contact with stone.
So I put Sir Ilio down and rush over to you to see if you're okay. And probably
Pulling my hands from the rock. Yeah, I'm fine.
okay. Then going back to Sir
Pale
Ilio
and hearty.
and
Ugh.
doing the equivalent of Camelotian medicine to bandage him up.
That is fine. Sure. Um, and then anytime you can mark a box of destiny to do one of the following for under fulfill destiny. So you can unmark a harm to virtue if you want. You can redo a roll, increase your level by 1. But just if you do just for funsies mark a fulfilled destiny box to increase your level by 1, that does not mean you get any of the level up benefits from it. You just arbitrarily level up by 1, which could give you service if you're going to be battling against NPCs or a fellow hero maybe, but it doesn't let you do any of the level up stuff. So just be aware of that, okay? But if you want to, unmark a harmed virtue at this point, you can totally use a destiny box to do so.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I'm sorry, did you have that decision to make first, or because Elio will talk to Ydelles. Um your strength is always welcome in defense, but Ydelles, you must never pick me up like a child again. Um I am knight, and all I needed was to be on my feet to fight them. And this I've said it before, but now I will make it a vow that I will help you on this quest um to find the golden heart, and all the skill and ability that is mine is yours to use in that goal. And I'm using my epic move, where I'm giving my giving myself declaring a quest. Um, and it says roll plus destiny. Well, I mean, I guess it says if you accept the request, or if your bond accepts your promise. So does Ydelles accept my promise?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah, totally.
Oh,
Cool.
and just so you know, I mean, like, there's more than just hitting a destiny box to unmark a virtue, like for harm. So don't worry about using that just yet if you want to try one of the other ways. All right. So then you would basically be rolling destiny with +5.
Is that's to heal the harm, or
Oh, no, no, no. This is for your
that's
quest. Your
oh,
quest move.
okay. Yeah. Oh, so it's plus the unmarked boxes?
Yep. When you roll plus destiny.
Wow.
Yes.
Pretty good. Okay.
Yeah.
14.
Yeah.
So
So if you succeed, you receive +1 ongoing to any roll in pursuit of this quest. Okay.
and -1 for things that are not.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
Mm.
But
Well,
that's
because
okay.
it's like you're being very, very focused, so that makes
Right.
sense to me.
Yeah.
Um, I forget whether ongoing is just for the session or if it's for pretty much while this quest is going on.
I think it's for the until like the quest is complete, or I can pay a destiny to abandon the quest.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only reason I hesitate to really like, plug, yeah, go ahead and mark fulfill destiny is because it's like, when you need rolls like this, it's gonna mess you up royally when you're like, oh, it went from +5 to +2. Oh noes.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah, so just so you know, for healing harm and then being able to unmark a virtue, someone can, like Ydelles, who had applied the bandages and all that kind of stuff, can do heal and comfort on you.
Is that okay for Sir Elio?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Want to make sure that that was consensual.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. All
And heal and
right.
comfort is rolling with wise, so
Oh
2d6 plus your wise.
yeah. Oh yeah. Wisdom of 0. All right. I think the leeches go in here.
Oh no.
Oh no,
Oh
my
no.
leeches are frozen.
Oh no. What?
You'll have to thaw them from the inside.
Oh shit.
Matt, are you okay?
Wait, I'll put them in your wound first. That'll warm them up.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 9.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
It's not so
That's
bad.
terrible. I'm like, if that's like, rolled like snake eyes. Oh no.
I just killed someone who pledged their quest to me.
With the way things have been going just so far, I'm just kind of like, yeah, that kind of fits. All right, great. Okay.
Mm.
So give me a mo.
Mhm.
All right. So you heal him fine. And then, yeah, you can unmark that, actually, like whenever, a PC is healing and comforting another PC with this move, the hero can unmark all virtues that are affected. So that's
Wow.
cool. That's awesome.
That's pretty powerful.
It is. It's wonderful. Normally, though, you cannot heal and comfort yourself unless you have that move from, I believe, the Sorcerer's Playbook, which allows you to heal like a mofo.
I think
Yeah, Isolde of Ireland. I took that move when I first played, because I wanted to be a healer. So yeah, aside from that particular move, there might be other moves. I haven't read them all. Then you cannot normally heal and comfort yourself. So somebody else has to do it for you. Okay.
I think that there's and we don't have to play this out, but I
Mhm.
think that while this healing scene is happening, maybe this is in the director's cut. I think because until you chose that epic quest, right? What I think was going through Ydelles' mind, especially if those 2 companions were totally messed up from getting into this wolf fight, like the first conflict, and both of you got hurt. It seemed to Ydelles like he's responsible for you both, and this was, I think he was feeling like his ego or his vanity, some sort of negative passion was driving this quest to be recognized as a knight, was putting his fellow knights at risk, and that the quest, as it were, was not worth losing his companions. And he was completely prepared to give up and go back in order to prevent further bloodshed. Now that you've pledged yourself to this, I think it has reinvigorated him that it's okay to continue on. Whether or not that's wise, I think it feels more like validation. So I think we might see that change of heart in Ydelles as he's bandaging up Sir Elio.
And just remind yourselves that when you make a move related to one of your dilemmas, you can check the box next to that dilemma to add +1 to a related roll. If it comes into play, I just feel like, I don't know if you're going to keep this dilemma or not, but it's something that, because especially now that Sir Elio has pledged a quest for you, to you, then that is something that could be used for. Brain does not want to work. Yeah, for exert heart. That's the move. Okay.
So would Sir Elio share why he decided to pledge now in this way versus, is it something that we see Sir Elio share with Ydelles, or is this something he keeps private?
I think from what he said, it was the uh I think he was reacting to being, carried away from the battle,
Okay.
and said, kind of like, you don't need to do that.
Okay. All right. And how is Sir Granit?
Yeah, how is Sir Granit?
No worse than expected.
So have we seen you bear this mark of not being able to use your sorcery before? Do we know about it?
Probably not.
Do you cover it up?
I mean, I don't think so. I'm not like ashamed of it. It's a thing that happens. So, like, I'm used to it.
But like, are we like in the middle of something and we're like, why isn't he using his magic? Like, do we know
I mean,
this
I
is a
think
thing?
like you've obviously like, healed, wrapped up Sir Elio. So now it's like, now that you're or looking Sir Granit over, it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, what do you
Hey,
think?
what happened to your hands?
Yeah. Because like, if we've known each other for a while, either you're very good at hiding it, or you've explained it off in some way, or you've told us what it is, or I feel like there's something there.
It's the gnome's price for dispatching our wolves. Once I've paid my debt, I shall have them back.
Is there any way we can help you with your debt?
Well, it becomes rather difficult to use a sword, so if I can't get the required weight together on my own, I may need your help in combat.
Of course.
What do you mean the required weight?
Dwarves are gnomes are very exact creatures. I asked them to carry away the wolves, and as payment, they demand an offering in weight of equal weight to those 3 wolves. By my count, about 100 stone.
Does it matter
You
what?
mean
Does it
that
matter what-
literally?
It'd be less. It'd be like 60. How much is a stone? It's like 13 pounds, right?
I think it's 15, but
Inflation.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I mean,
Oh,
wow.
it is 6 kilograms, which is
14 pounds. Sorry, I'm
14
off.
pounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
So assuming the average wolf is like 150 pounds.
Oh God.
Wolves are fucking huge.
I know.
They are.
And then one of them was much bigger than the other two. Oh Jesus.
So like 10 stone each, or for the 2.
Yeah,
Right.
and then probably
And then, like 12 or something stone.
yeah,
Is
we'll
it-
say 12 for ease
What
of math.
is there a specific kind of thing that you have to give them, or just something that equals in weight?
They'll take a lot of different kinds of offerings. Really, I'll know it when I see it.
So like, if we found some rocks or some lead.
They have rocks.
Lead.
They are lead. They don't need things that they're already governed. We need this weight in water or air. If we could find a sacred spring, that would be wonderful. They also count secrets as having a certain weight. But I don't know how I would get any of those. The sylphs are onto me.
Well, it's no secret that you speak madness sometimes.
Sorry, I mean it's not it's a little not funny, but considering the
Oh
comedic
yeah,
lines I've been
no,
going through all this
no,
session, I'm just kind of
I
like,
love
it's
this.
perfect. It's perfect. Yes, I know. Oh my God.
I
Yeah,
have to say that I feel that there's a wee bit of berserker in you after that last battle.
Seemed the easiest way.
yeah. I no, I don't discount it. I am in agreement with Ydelles. I I was impressed.
Hmm.
I'm sure if either of you could do it, you would have done the same.
Mm.
I'm generally not a wolf hugger.
I can see why.
I'm so sorry. I can't fit. This is so fun. I think with that, we're gonna just like kind of like close the scene and transition into a commercial break. Yeah, I mean it's way past. So let's give it 10 minutes. So back at the 19 mark if you follow that, or just 10 minutes. 10 minutes from now. Okay, yeah. So Um, I'm gonna say that soon after you have this conversation and Sir Elio is like, wrapped up and healing, I think the dawn breaks, and so yeah, a new day has dawned, and yeah, no storm obviously during the night. I mean, like, the snow is settled on the ground, um, possibly covering more tracks, but then maybe there's more signs here that you can possibly try and read. So that is up to you if you want to um, just go forward in the direction that you thought before the storm really laid out, or you can try and retrack again by talking to animals. Or, I mean, like, if you can parlay me one of these moves to kind of act as your tracking, you can totally do that as well. And the catch-all, just so you know, is act heroically.
Um, I think, given what we've established, I think Idel like defers to his companions for like the wayfinding, the smarts, unless he has to. Like, I don't think he thinks he can really do it. Like, he probably is like forgotten. Like, oh yeah, remember when you were like 10 and they threw you out into the wilderness with the other druid kids, and you had to like figure out how to get home, right? But he's probably like doesn't remember like the training very well.
Mm-hmm.
I think the way to go is to talk to birds. We can see a little bit
Okay.
more.
Okay.
Um,
Are there better birds to talk to than others?
Crows are pretty smart.
Mm-hmm. Smart ass too. Depends on the crow. If you'd like to go see if you can find a crow, feel free, and then roll your move if you want.
Sure. I mean, I'll ask any bird that I chance upon, uh, but preferably a crow for finding
Sure. And you get +1 on your prevail upon or gain insight, depending on what you think you want to do.
I think prevail upon
Okay.
a better chance.
Okay. Doke. Given the recent. Yeah.
5 total.
You are failing really forward. My
Right.
goodness. My goodness, Elio.
Wow.
5. So you can run with the miss and misfortune, or you can you know, mark off a destiny to do a reroll. I believe that's what it is.
I forgot it's actually a 6. Not that it matters. Because of the quest thing.
Yeah,
but
so again, you can
I'll run with a miss. I
okay,
think I think that's like, typical of a story that they encounter a lot of hardship at the onset.
true. Okay. I think when you prevailed upon this crow that happened to be on following you and stuff like that, I think kind of he made a sound like of derision. He didn't even bother to answer you in crow. Um, and so he just kind of like flew away. And I think, yeah, I think as the crow flies away, I think you will hear, "Help! Help! I need help!" from within the forest, which like you're approaching quite near.
I run towards.
You don't even bother taking the horse?
Oh, I mean, I guess the horse will be faster. Yeah, I'll go on. I'll jump on the horse and
Okay.
charge.
All right. Yeah. I think. Do you even wait for your companions, or you just roll for it? I
Oh,
mean, you
I'm
just
assuming they're coming.
okay. Oh,
So
so
I don't
but you
wait
just
for.
jump on your horse and then just
Yeah.
like assume they'll follow when they get there.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, Sir Elio has wandered a little ways away from you two and started talking to a crow, um, who flew away, and then he just jumped on his horse and then ran. I'm assuming you two are following.
Like, look to make sure Granite also observed that, and if he did, going to obviously get on the horse and pursue.
Okay. Yeah, I think as you ride into the forest, Sir Elio, I think you'll see there's a woman that looks like she has fallen, but it's like not in a normal fashion. Like she is not only tripped on some branches or what have you, but it looks like she is in some sort of like pit off to the side that seems to have these branches entangling her and then pulling her down.
Go. Uh, uh, I don't want to bring the horse to the pit.
Right.
Um, are her arms free? Like, can I throw her a rope?
Uh, her hands are like kind of like imagine like the branches are not only like, rolled up around her arms and like, parts of her body, but I mean, imagine that they're also kind of forming this weird kind of cage as they're entangling amongst themselves. And then like some of the branches are kind of going across her mouth, which is why she sounded so muffled when she was trying to yell. So
Right.
like yeah, slowly pulling her down.
Yeah, I draw the sword and I'm gonna try to defend.
Okay. What's your
Um,
cage?
or can I do battle? Or
Ah, hmm. Yeah, doing battle is more like with like, other
a
people in
foe.
social class.
Okay.
You can do act heroically if you like, or you can do um like if you use raw physical might to deal with the problem, you can call it apply force. Um yeah, I mean like, you say what sounds appropriate. Like what you want to just do the catch-all, or do you want to do excuse me, apply force. So force is rolled with vigorous, act
Mhm.
heroically is rolled with virtue.
Uh, I'll do act heroically.
Okay.
Um, using using vigorous, I guess. But I think I think this will be at the -1, right? Because it's not really quest related.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
So it's just gonna be a no modifiers.
Okay.
All right, an 8.
Okay. All right. So, on an 8. You go in there and what's your goal here? You're trying to hack the branches off of her?
Yeah, I get her free. Yeah.
Yes. So here's the misfortune. Yeah, you get her free and she dives out of that recess as best as she can. But yeah, a couple of the branches start wrapping around your ankles as you get a little bit too close to get her out of there.
Okay.
And you guys roll up to see this, that Elio has gotten himself entangled. And there's a woman that's like off to the side of this hole. And she's trying to grab, I guess, a dead branch or something to try and to reach out to him with.
Um, so we roll up in our sweet steeds
Hmm.
and assess the situation. And Ydelles gets off the horse, and he looks at Sir Elio like, "You want help?" Because we had that conversation the other day.
Right.
Or you want to handle this by yourself?
Oh my god.
Don't want to step on your honor.
Oh, if you say that, I'll say I will leave the choice to you, but I will not refuse aid.
Okay. Going to do force on the branches.
Sure. Okay. Roll
Okay.
plus vigorous, please.
All right. Did I think I get my giantess might as well on
I
this?
believe so, yes,
All
right?
right.
Because
So
it's like you are using your
yeah, my move.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if I hack your feet off, it's going to be a clean cut. Just know that.
I do not like the sense of humor you're developing, though.
Plus vigorous plus 2. Please be reminded.
I know, because
And
otherwise.
plus 1.
Oh yeah, +1.
Because remember, plus vigorous, plus
Right.
2 from your move,
Right.
and then plus 1 because of the other thing, right? There was another thing that you were doing.
Oh, my dilemma.
I thought so.
Okay, if this
Hold
is
on.
part of our quest.
Hold on. Otherwise, he could have gotten a plus. No, I thought there was another thing that you had plus 1 on that you needed to go forward with.
I had that earlier when we were fighting the wolves, but I didn't know that had continued on since that scene.
Oh, okay. Okay, here we go. So forward applies
Mhm.
only to the next die roll you make. Ongoing continuously applies to relevant dice rolls for as long as a certain condition remains true.
Mhm.
So I believe.
Because I do have my dilemma marked, but I don't know that that's applicable here.
No, I don't think it is. But I mean, like,
Mhm.
if you didn't use that plus 1 forward, I think
Mhm.
I'm gonna say just go ahead and use
Oh,
that
okay.
because it is the next die roll. I don't think you rolled after that.
I don't believe so.
Yeah. So
So
just
I
go
got
ahead
a
and use
That's a
that.
+1.
yeah. So I got a 6 +2 +2 +1.
Oh my god! It's like which
11.
bullets into 11. Okay.
It would have
Boy.
been my first miss of the game.
Oh my god.
Except you rolled
Except
+5.
it's beautiful. It's just
Games are
totally
good.
beautiful. I mean, right. We have our champion, ladies
Wait,
and
did
gentlemen.
you roll snake eyes? No.
No. I rolled a 4 and a 2. But
Oh, all right.
yeah,
Okay.
this is the one thing I'm guaranteed to do pretty well in is to
Yeah.
cut people or things open.
Oh yes. So you do apply force to this, and you have no problems. You do not have to worry about extraneous branches like getting their nicks on you because you are hacking down to the roots of this thing as you get Elio out. And so, yeah, you tell me how you dispatch this essentially a pit creature.
Oh, oh, I love it. So yeah, like I think like Adele's never seen this thing before.
No.
And so he just thinks it's like, oh, brambles or something, you know, we've not been up here. Who knows what's here? So he's hacking at it, and like the branches, they like react like animal limbs in a way. And he's like, what the? So then that invigorates him to get to the bottom of it. So
Mm-hmm.
he's like, after he's gotten Sir Ilio free, he's like hacking down through the root system. And then I think what we hear is we hear like a hiss, and maybe there's even like the sound of like a gurgle or a popping as he continues down into the center mass of this pit creature. Um, and there's just like remains scattered over. Like he's thoroughly mashed it up. Like if this was a forensics person, they would be quite irate with Idel right now. But I think Idel picks up a piece of it as like a souvenir and puts it into one of his little pouches.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's very curious.
What's the piece look like?
I think it looks like a piece of like ambergris.
Yeah. Okay.
And then of course he looks back with Sir Ilio and the woman to make sure they're okay now that his attention is no longer on this creature thing. I don't know what Sir Granit has been doing.
You're on mute.
Mostly watching in awe. Like I'm a big guy, but damn,
Damn.
guys is big.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, just so you know, Sir Granite, I think that even though the gnomes have pretty much put the club on your powers, at least for essentially 24 hours, right? Um, I think that the state of your hands are such that they locked them down by sealing them in rock, and they have the solidity of rock as well.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
So it's a punishment as well as a kind of like a small blessing. So even though you can't swing a sword because your hands are like immobilized, you can do other things with them if you want. So just so you know. Um, okay.
Can you start a fire with some kindling?
Do you ask that like after you take care of the pit creature?
I think that would have been a comment he would have made later, like the other night when he was
Okay.
working with him. Yeah.
Oh my God. Jeez. Too damn funny. But yes, I mean, as far as you can tell, this woman is kind of like panting hard because I mean, like she was trying to help Sir Elio, and like in fact, she kind of helps pull him out of the pit as you take care of the pit creature, and yeah, I mean, she's very disheveled because it's like part of her clothing has been torn or like kind of dragged and like kind of what's the word frayed because of the branches like encircling her and such, and her hair is like all like askew, and like it was already in a loose bun but now it's kind of like hanging half off for her nape of her neck. um she seems like a very attractive woman like wearing simple peasant clothing.
I'll give her a cloak if she needs one. I don't know how cold it is right now.
uh
Or
it's a
just to
bit
cover up. Yeah.
Right. It's a bit warmer than when you were out in the open by the rocks, but it is still cold. I mean, like, the winter storm has kept the edge on the weather. So, yeah, she thank you very much. I was trying to gather herbs in the woods, and that was there, and that hadn't been there before. Um, I'm not sure why or how. That's not normal whatsoever. Oh, hello. And she looks into your eyes, Sir Elio.
You are safe now. Just be
Appreciate it.
careful.
Thank you. Oh, excuse me. Um, Yes, I'm gathering herbs. My name is, um, excuse me, Palace. Um, and I am the servant to a knight who lives nearby. Um, and she looks kind of like confused for a minute, and then she will just kind of like look around to gather her basket that looked like it was kind of thrown um, a little bit further away, um, a bit upended, but then like you see some plants in it and some what look like weeds to anybody that
Mhm.
doesn't know. But I mean, like, again, she's been gathering this stuff in the woods. Yep.
Well met, milady.
Yes. I thank you all so much for helping me. I don't know what would I have done. Um, I didn't think that things like this even grew here. Have you ever seen this before?
No, miss. Never in my long days serving this land have I seen a creature such as this.
It's quite odd. Um, I will. I thank you for, again, dispatching it so quickly. I'm going to take a sample of this and show it to my master and see what he says. Uh, Maybe he has seen something like this, and we can make sure that it does not um, infect or infest the land any further, I suppose. Um,
Did
and
she share who the knight was? Was it Palace or was that her name?
that's her name.
Okay,
Yes.
so who is the lord that you serve, the knight that you serve?
Oh, his name is Sir Bertilac. Yes.
Heraldry check.
His home is not that far from here. I mean, I didn't have a horse, so I didn't walk very far, but yes. Um, did you need shelter or
It would be our honor to make sure you made it back to your home. Isn't that right, Sir Elio?
Yes, my thoughts exactly.
oh, greatly appreciated. Just in case there's any other strangeness about. Um, I think I have everything I need for the day's cooking, at the very least. And so, yes, I think I can be brought back to the manor. Yes, thank you. And what she will do is that she will show you to, like, a different track down the road. But what this will do is that this will take you off track from finding the Golden Heart, at least temporarily.
I mean, we could, if she lives just nearby, we can certainly help her to her home.
What if we we have horses? We could ride her home, bid her well, and be on our way. And find a way to diplomatically refuse the offer to stay if it is offered to us.
Why would why would we not indulge the Lord's hospitality? Surely our rations are running low.
How late in the day is it?
I mean, again, it's like, you you dawn had broken, and then you heard the call after you tried talking with the crow. So,
We could ask if he knows anything about the Golden Heart.
Yeah, because those birds aren't helping us, are they?
The
Birds,
birds are birds.
I don't trust anything of the air.
Oh, really? Anti-air, are you?
It is a tricksy thing. It cannot be pinned down. It cannot be held to honesty.
And yet we all imbibe it.
And one day it will kill us. Could
all
be
right.
tomorrow. You'll never know.
I won't even see it coming, will I?
'Tis breath's greatest joke indeed.
All right. So let us seek this diversion.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know that's a diversion. It could well lead us on our way to our goal.
Why not, right?
Let's do it.
So, yeah, whose horse does she ride?
Well, it
Ydelles.
seems fitting for Sir Elio since she and he have a special something going on right now.
Not
Yeah,
saying
that's
that you
right.
do.
Your bros are setting you up.
Yeah, we're your what is the medieval shield men? I don't know what we are.
I don't know.
Bannerman?
Mm,
That fits. I'll
yeah,
take Bannerman.
Bannerman.
Bannerman, that's
Bannerman.
pretty
Yeah,
We're out here waving your banner to the
that's
ladies.
pretty cool.
I
I must
I
admit,
have the prince waiting for me back in the
that's true.
Windermere.
Do
so-
we know this?
I
Oh,
sure
that's
don't.
true. You probably don't.
Yeah.
Oh man, complications. Okay, there we go. We got it. We got it. And I wasn't assuming anything. I wasn't assuming that it's like, that
Right.
you were um struck by her, Sir Elio. I
Sure.
mean, I was just like, here she is. You're the first person that tried to help her. So there you go.
Yep. It's okay. I like women in meteors.
Yeah.
I like unicorns.
Granite
Never really
likes
thought about it.
Yeah, Granite likes rocks.
No, I don't. Rocks are mean.
Ah,
Most of them, anyway.
mm,
All right, let's make sure that the happy pair make it back.
okay. Yeah, so basically, your companions are completely oblivious, Sir Elio. Oh my God. And she's kind of like in front of you on the horse, so this way she can direct you like where to go. And so she's kind of chattering, and then I think in her chatter you find out that um she's one of very few servants that are at this manor house. And yeah, her master is rather aloof and distant. Kind of goes off and does his own thing, and then comes back and just expects the household to be running smoothly for the most part. And yeah, I think the snow for some reason is sparse here. You go from a rolling hill that is covered in snow on the ground that even obscures like what little road there actually was. And then you come upon the beginnings of a path that looks well tended. The snow becomes sparse. And then as you approach the manor house itself, which has this wonderful roundabout, and then something of like a rock formation in the center of this roundabout, where there's like rocks piled very artistically upon each other, like a wall, but not a wall, almost like as a sculpture. And then in the middle of this formation is this spring or fountain that comes out naturally and just kind of like bubbles up and out and up and then falls gracefully down. And you hear the pattering of the drops on this rock sculpture. And you see the manor house ahead of you, and it's fairly large, several stories, and it has battlements, like, one or two battlements that you can see. And then what looks like it starts off with a double door and then goes into like a tunnel before it goes into the manor house proper.
We let her lead the way.
Yes, she comes off of the horse and says, "Come inside. I'm sure my master would love to meet you." As she gracefully prances off with her basket in hand and just expects you to follow her in.
Was there anything weird about the plants she was collecting?
Um, would you like to gain insight on that?
I'll try. I don't really have
You don't have to. I'm just asking you if you want to.
yeah, I'll try it. I'll try
Okay.
it.
Yep. So gain insight plus wise.
7.
No. Yeah, some of them look like decorative plants, and around that period, supposedly, I mean, like, the things that were considered edible, but maybe we wouldn't, like, decorative flowers, like possibly like um, yellow roses or daffodils or something like that. Some of them are flowers, and then some of them look like um, weeds, kind of like grass stalks and such, grains. Excuse me. And so, yeah, I mean, like, she's. I will. I will let him know that you have come, that you are visitors. Stay here in the Great Hall, and I will be glad to bring him here to meet you. Um, so I think, one of the things that she's collected that may or may not be in season are holly plants.
Oh,
Hmm.
Yes, it is winter, but yet you're not sure whether you've seen them around this time.
okay.
In the meantime, you're in this great hall. High ceilings, gray interior, wood on the floor, highly polished, um, and possibly some rushes on the floor, of course, to fragrant rushes, um, to kind of keep some heat in, and also to stave away like certain vermin. Um, but yes, it's
Are there
plainly appointed.
there aren't any tapestries or heraldry or anything like that?
There isn't, but I think as you like maybe perhaps get wander around and then see the light fall as it like morning, the sun starts to rise. I think you notice that there's a slight green patina to everything. But no, you don't see any heraldry, at least not apparent here.
I think I'd like to try to gather information. What is that called here? What is it?
Gain insight,
Gain
but
insight.
I will ask. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good suggestion, Sir Granite. I think let's do a paint the scene. Not in the not in this usual game, but I like that. I like that idea of where, in seeing this plainly appointed great hall in what looks like a fine manor house, what gives you the impression that this is not a normal night?
I mean, feel like you already stole mine, which is that everything looks a little green.
You
But
can come up with another one if you want.
I'll come up with something else.
Okay.
Um, I have an idea where there's let's say like in the floor there's wood in the floor. Let's say that like every so often there's like a channel where there's fresh water running, like just like about a few centimeters apart, and it's running. We'll say it's running north to south, and that's how this great hall is oriented.
Hmm.
So there must be a source of that water, like a spring or something, to the north, or a well or something.
I think you'll figure out that it orients. Just so you know, it orients very well with the fountain spring that you saw outside.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Hmm. I think even though what time of day is it, would you say?
Early morning, mid morning, depending on. Nah, mid morning because you know you got here. It took a little bit to come over, and you weren't going terribly fast. Like you weren't
Hmm.
tearing through. You were just kind of cantering, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that well then it even though the sun should not be like the sun should be directly overhead and there doesn't like there is a ceiling. It seems to be that this place is not lit by torches, but instead by rays of sunlight, like visible rays coming in through the windows.
I think there's a cage with a uh, large parrot like bird whose feathers um actually appear to be like leaves, uh plant leaves. Um, and it greets us with welcome to the hall, welcome to our hall. Uh, every now and then.
So if anybody wants to do anything while they're waiting in the Great Hall, this would be a great time to do it.
With floors, stone walls.
Mm-hmm.
We got rocks. Let's chat with some rocks.
Okay.
Uh, just for your context, I imagine that the gnomes of a cast something like a castle, like usually there would be only one, and he would be rather strange, isolated from the stone of the rest of the world.
Are you prevailing upon this gnome, you think?
I think so. This could be a gain insight.
Rhyme memory. To understand a place, person, or thing, or situation. So, gaining insight, you would roll with wise. If you're doing the prevail upon, you would roll with courteous.
Okay, I would prefer to roll with wise. I will ask I will ask of this gnome the same thing I ask of basically everybody. Tell me your tale. Tell me of this place and where you hail from. Roll first. That's a 7 plus 1.
Okay. All right. So you succeed in, I guess, having a rapport with this particular gnome that lives here. Um, you are wise in the ways of stone, and they say as much. It's kind of like, what's strange is that the gnomes that you're used to hearing are kind of like coarse and like rather brusque. But this particular gnome has a voice. You know it's a gnome, but because they're not underground, there's a bit of more hollow sound to their voice, but it sounds like two people. And it speaks to you in this echoey hollow and says, "My tale is short, Stone's son. I have only been here for a short time. My owner, however, has been here for ages."
You speak of ownership.
He
Hmm.
has carved me. He has shaped me. And so perhaps I am owned rather than being my own.
You have my deepest sympathies. I'll ask not your name if you will not give it.
It has been so long. I do not remember.
Strange. Is there anything? Hmm. Tell me, where does the water that runs through this place come from?
Hmm. You almost hear a chuckle in their voice as they say, "From deep within the earth. It comes from life itself."
Hmm. Thank you. And he will, I think, get out that sachet of cloves and just sort of like wedge it between the cracks in the wall.
What is this gift?
Life of the kind you do not have here, or the seed of such.
Seed. Seed to grow.
Indeed.
Seed of truth.
Indeed. If you have need of anything, or even simple companionship, you know that I can listen. Now know that I am willing.
Hmm. You can't use your I'm going to say you can't use your power. However, I want to say that are you touching this thing in any way when you put the cloves in?
I mean, I'm touching the wall, yeah.
Okay. I think how do I do this to you before? Yeah, sure, cliffhanger, why
Fuck
not?
me up.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna say that your complication is like, as you're giving this gift and you're getting this wonderful rapport with the stone manor. I think that in your touch, like even if your hand's like not completely like straight or whatever, it's like you're almost kind of like stroking the wall to just kind of like give a the comforting pat kind of thing, maybe. I
You're just
think you will.
scrabbling around because my hand is made of stone and I'm
Yeah. But I think, pardon, I think, like, as you do this, to just kind of like show commiseration or what have you, I think the house opens up to you in a way that's quite literal, where it will let your hand sink into its surface and it's not going to let go. And that's where we're going to leave you for tonight. I'm going to end the
woohoo.
session there.
Oh, nice.
And the credits roll. And so that is where we're going to end the session for tonight. Let's do some stars and wishes. Stars are things that you appreciated about each other, the gameplay, the game, and then wishes are, of course, what you would like to see for next time or the future.
Thank you, Chris. To those people who can't see the chat, we had a little sub thread going on while Sir Granit was speaking to the wall, where Ydelles said to Sir Elio, "Which type of rock would you guess to be Sir Granit's favorite to interact with?" And then we have maybe granite. Weren't sure, and now we have our answer. I don't know if that's in character or out of character.
That's in character and I can justify it.
Why is that? Why is basalt
It,
your?
it it's I mean, have you ever seen all right. We might not have time for this.
We can do this in like an additional like bonus clip or something if you want.
Keep
No,
going. It's
I'm
fine.
just
We have 15 minutes. I mean, unless you're planning on like giving lots of stars and wishes, go ahead. I'd like to hear this explanation.
I have a few. All right, so basalt naturally forms hexagons, which is really neat. If you've ever seen a basalt cliff face, it's beautiful. That's like what the Giant's Causeway is made out of in Northern Ireland. But they're also like, so they have this sort of innate order that a lot of rocks don't, but they're also like, because of the way they shear, there is still all of this, like you can see much more easily how old each break is. Like they once you know how to look at them, you can really like see the story on any given wall of basalt.
Cool.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
That's like the layers, right?
Yeah,
Oh, neat.
because it will break off pretty cleanly and then wear. So you can pretty much tell, like, just by looking when each break occurred.
Amazing.
Stars to Mads. Thanks for running this. I think now that we're up and going with our characters, uh, the world feels a lot more alive. You did great with the descriptions and the woods and all that. And although um, I'm loving this detour adventure that we're on now over here, I love it. My character's probably gonna be really anxious.
Oh yeah. Oh
Totally
no.
like we're not on our quest, but I love it. That last scene with Sir Granit was great. It was so like quiet and intimate, and it's just very nice touch. And Sir Elio earlier, like I mean, Rod, you're really embracing those roles, and all the misery that comes from it. I love it. I think this like hidden love that we don't know about yet. I can't wait for that to be broken open. So I'm really enjoying this episode. I think we're getting more into our characters, and we're understanding each other's sort of movement through the world. So this has been a lot of fun. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Matt, for bringing this together. I love your the division of the sylphs, especially, but all the NPCs that we've run so far into, um, um, and yes, and bringing that quality of the Green Knight movie and Arthurian odd, oddness to the story.
Mm.
Um, yeah. Um, I love the interaction that you and David had with Aurora visiting in the night, and that uh, and the questions that David was posing. Uh, you know, um, curious what some of those cryptic words, cryptic answers might mean. Um, and oh, and I like that we didn't get a clear image of Aurora uh, that David was describing. We kind of just see like little bits of suggestion. I love the Granite side with the wolves, uh, and the and also that ending with the interaction with the rock of the weird mansion,
Mm.
which is just more of the same.
Okay, I have three majors. Well, three. I have stars. I have a lot of stars. Y'all are great. Mads, stars as always for your phenomenal voice work. I especially loved the sylphs and how there were a lot. There was a lot of subtlety in the house gnome for how quickly and obviously that must have been improv. Uh, stars to Rod for the whole do not ever pick me up like a child again. I will swear to you an oath I will carry out a quest for you. Don't do that. That is such a good that is peak Arthurian vibes and just funny as hell. And stars to David for all your little callbacks. Like uh the hey, I know we swore an oath. Do you want my help now that you're dangling off this cliff?
And you know this is going to continue on, right?
Oh
It's just going to
yeah,
be this like tension, like do we, don't we?
exactly.
Are you sure?
You did some great setup this
Oh my
session.
god, that's so funny.
Wishes. I want to interact with like human people, specifically my fellow knights, on account of today. I just kind of talked to the gnomes, spent a lot of time off in the hidden world.
Well, we're now at this like what this magical bed and breakfast place. I mean, you can talk to us here. When
Oh yeah, we've got time.
You're not going anywhere. You're glued
We
to the wall.
we can. Oh right.
I mean, we can open up with like, next session being like, well, previously on, and then we're just gonna open with that, and then just be like, that's all that happened. That's it.
And then
Or
we'll be like,
or
we'll be like,
quick montage.
basalt. That's your favorite rock? It's so
Is he
It's
still
really
attached to
cool,
the wall?
okay.
Is he still attached to the wall? Yes, stars definitely for everyone. Like, just like kind of yes anding like out the wingus. I love it. I love it. I mean, I'm here to create a little bit of the world and then respond to the rest of it. And I'm trying to listen very, very hard for some things that I can try and call back to. I think it'll be quite interesting to see. Um, yeah, how many things I can squish in for the next few sessions to try and make this like a one hell of a journey for you. Remember, it's never about the destinations; it's all about the journey, and we're really seeing that just today. Holy
The
crap!
night isn't waylaid by 6 to 12 of the strangest little guys you can think of. Is it really a
Yeah,
quest?
exactly. I mean,
then
come on
yeah.
now.
Then it's just like a travel tale.
Then it's just
Um,
travel tale. In which case, it's like
Travelogue.
I'll just watch a travel log for it, and it's like, but some of the choices this episode was just so inspired. Holy crap. I mean, like again, that Elio scene's like, do not pick me up, like, treat me
love
like a
that.
child and
I
whatever. I
love
mean, like
that.
that was like a pretty like strong stance for
Yep.
him, which to be honest, I wouldn't have expected. I kind of like consider like Sir Elio like kind of like more of the gentle knowledge seeker, and then like that just seemed like such a strong move coming from you, um, uh, Rod. So I thought I appreciated that a lot. That was
That
really
was
cool.
great. I love
And
that.
then yeah, David, holy cow, Ydelles, and just the whole reverence that he has. I mean, it wasn't just love; it was like reverence for his Aurora. I mean, and then the choice to non-image them, just like like you see a hand here or the hair here. I'm like, that's amazing. That's awesome. And then you allowed the audience to picture whatever the hell they wanted to picture too. So that just keeps it more accessible, if anything.
Well,
And then,
it.
oh my God, Granite.
Hmm.
The conversations that you were having with the gnomes was just hilarious to me, and everybody else is seeing. It's like, what the hell is he doing? But then, like, once it got really really serious with the other gnome, the gnome of the manor, it's like, yeah, yeah, I mean, he can stay in it, but I was gonna make you
Oh yeah.
complicated.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna totally
I
stay.
why did I think I might have already mentioned this, but turning his hands to stone as he pulls them out of the rock face is was such a good touch. I love that image.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
like as soon as David also said, like, like, looks like you've been like they put the, what is it, the low jack on you or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's like that was the image in my
Well,
head.
I love the visuals of whatever rock you last touch. Like you're taking that essence out of it,
Mm.
right? Like
Yeah,
that is what your hands or whatever part of, maybe it's other parts of your body depending on what you're doing. So I just love that you carry that essence of rock literally with you until it changes back. I just think that's fantastic.
Mm.
I wanted to do another shout out to Mads for, and this is something we'll see if it develops, figuring out how we want to do these travel encounters, right? There's no move in there.
hmm.
That may or may not be feedback to change
Oh
for
yeah,
the game. But I feel like that's such a big part of some of these tales. Like whether it's whatever you want to call it, downtime, travel time, whatever, cramped quarters, those sort of kind of blend together, and finding the right tone for that kind of move I think will be interesting.
yeah. I mean,
Mm.
I kind of like like, and it then these moves appear in all my games, like regardless of what game I'm
Hmm.
playing. So I mean, like, I always appreciate scenes where the players can kind of, what did you say, Chris? It's like something like sink into your own bullshit. It's like, but the bullshit is what makes the character, because I mean it's the stuff that you guys create out of whole cloth to show this is what your characters care about, which is very interesting to me as a GM. So like I can't wait to see more. Oh yeah, this is great. This is really great. So, and especially for the side conversations too. It's like, yeah, I mean, like, we're gonna fix him up. Did you know that Sir Elio had a relationship with the prince? Wait, what?
Nope.
Does it, do they
It's
know?
right there on the character sheet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but the characters themselves. I mean, like,
Right.
how best buds are you guys? You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, how much do you know about your friend?
It's only when you go through trauma that you share some deep stuff.
Road trip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes the boys need a road trip before it's for life, you know?
The only thing that we're missing, and it's like, again, it's like, if it was thematically appropriate, it's like creating a playlist of like either
Minstrels.
minstrel
collecting
song,
a band of
minstrel song, or oh, that reminds me, it's like, because I included this in our Ironsworn game, maybe an annoying bard, maybe that's what I got included as a
That's a minstrel.
complication.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like from The Witcher, that guy, Jack.
An
Yeah,
annoying
John
bard.
Legend.
Yeah.
Stop it. An annoying bard. Okay.
Well, what's her name? Palace. What's she doing after we're done visiting? I mean, she could come along and sing behind us. I mean, whatever.
There hasn't been a palace here for 20 years.
Before that, she was a pile of bones.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh man, starring that one for like, what is going on with that? Oh my gosh.
Writing what do gnomes have to do with bones?
Oh my god.
Lingering question for this character.
Question. Yeah, so many questions, so many good things that, like I mean, okay, it's not just me, all right? I mean, like, I hope that you're listening to each other, or even at the very least, like watching the last 30 minutes of whatever last episode, right? Because then you get an idea of what to carry over into the next episode. So just, again, think on that. I mean, again, I will, as soon as it converts, I will provide a copy of the session into our group chat, and then again just watch the last 30 minutes because I'm sure it's hilarious. Yeah, and so wishes, again, just seeing what you guys concentrate on, like what appeals to you, what you focus on, and then turning it around on you. Complications upon complications. It's all about misfortune around here. So, and again, there's just so much. I don't know about depth, or if it's just kind of like it kind of feeds into itself, right? But there's a few things that you can do to heal harm. There's a few things that you can do to push your destiny and fulfill destiny moves, right? You can increase your level, you prevent a misfortune from occurring, but that changes the direction of like what happens to your character. You redo a roll, which again could change the outcome of your character. Or you heal yourself by, unmarking a harmed virtue and such. So there's different things to be done, but then when it comes to, I forget what the move exactly is, where you start looking at the things that you have marked. I think that's battle, but I'm not sure. I'd have to reread the... Oh, no, wait. I think it's Endure Heartbreak. There it goes. Yep. Endure Heartbreak. That's where things get interesting. Which I haven't done yet. Oh, shoot. Okay. Yeah. So that's a wish. Like enacting the Endure Heartbreak on at least one of you per session. That would be great.
Are you gonna make Sir Ilio break up with Palace after one date?
I mean, we haven't seen anything yet, and it's like, it'll be interesting. It's like, is she interested in him? Is he gonna hide behind her, like just to kind of feign interest? I don't know. We don't know what this is gonna look like yet. We have to worry about Granit being stuck in a wall. Just saying. So, a lot of fun. If I, don't see you or whatever between now and next session, you guys have a wonderful week and happy gaming.
You too.
And yeah, I mean, like again, oh, enjoy your weekend too. I mean, if you're in the States and you have the chance to enjoy Labor Day weekend, yay!
Yay.
And even if not, enjoy your weekend. Alrighty, so
Right.
thank
Till
you
Thank you.
next
guys.
week.
All right. Take
Appreciate
care.
it. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
See
Bye.
you.